Hey there friends, Guthrie Trapp here yet again, coming to you from my house here in East Nashville, Tennessee. Wanted to tell everybody, man, thanks so much for all the great feedback and comments and stuff that you guys have been sharing with me on YouTube. I'm new to it, so I'm just trying to get as much stuff out there as I can, build up my channel and kind of, throw the help out where I can. I really appreciate it, guys. It means a lot, and I'm lucky to be able to do this day in and day out and be able to play the guitar for a living. So I'm grateful for that and just really appreciate it. Today I wanted to elaborate a little bit more on my concept of using chord shapes and those key tones to play over chord changes. So you've heard me talk about the shapes and the cadence system and all that stuff, and that's just a fundamental to know that stuff inside and out so you can see these key chord tones. But to break it down really musically and get kind of away from the theory aspect of it for a minute is, we're going to the goal here is to make music. So we're going for that ultimately, and this other stuff is just a alphabet or a vehicle to be able to get to that. So when the chord goes from A to A7, the notes that are changing in that chord, when you go from A and you add that G to make A7, those are the notes that you have to change. The notes that change in the chord are directly related to the ones that you use in your soloing and your lead playing, and that's how you really make it sound like you're playing over the chord changes. And I'll demonstrate that in a second. But the thing about it is these tones are pulling you towards the next chord, the resolve and that kind of thing. So A to A7, the next chord you want to hear is your D. If I play E7 as my 5 chord in A, that's pulling you back to the A. So what I mean by that is, if I'm playing out of this shape, A shape, or A bar chord, it's my E shape, my big A bar chord here. If I'm playing out of this position and I play A7, well, the next note that I'm going to be wanting to outline to go to the 4 chord, say it's D9 or D7, or actually any D, it doesn't matter, because the major third is what's important. So when it goes from A to A7, that next note, that major third of the 4 chord, which is in this case F sharp, and that's a little theory, but you got to know a little bit of theory just to even know where you're at on the fingerboard. That's important. So that 7, flat 7, that resolves to your next chord. That takes your ear to that next chord. So, right, so if I'm soloing, and I outline A7, here I'm on my 8th fret on the B string, the G note, well, watch. So the major third of D is right behind there. So I'm using that to outline that chord. If I go to E7, that's covering that E7 right up my A shape to my G shape. E. Now this is playing in the key of A, and E is our 5 chord at this point. So, well, that D note, that's going to cover E7. Now watch, resolving back to A, that major 7 is right there. So you're always only 1 fret away in either direction from your resolve note. So if I'm here, if I'm playing out of A and I'm playing out of my C shape and I go, well then watch, look. My major third is right behind there. So I'm looking at that. That's why it's so important to know those shapes, because I'm looking at directly what note is moving to create that tension. So if I'm playing here, A7, that major third of D is what your ear is wanting to hear to make that change. So if I'm playing through the pentatonic shape, oh sorry, back in A, and I hit the flat 7, which marks the movement from A to A7. Well, then my next note could be, I'm outlining that D. As soon as my ear hears that third of D, the F sharp, because I'm looking at this in D, that outlines D, right? So here's A7, one step back, D. Now watch. There's D7 because there's my chord. Now watch, to go back to A7, or back to A rather, so we've got this. A7, D7. Now watch. From that D7 note, which is C, to C sharp, the major third of A. So watch, go to E, write down the E chord, 1, 3, 5, 1, walk down chromatically to the flat 7, that's covering E7. Now watch, to go back to A, so I'm looking at how that, everywhere there's a 7, I'm using that major third of the next chord to tell me, and my ear and everybody else's ear that's listening, that I'm going to that chord. So I hope this makes sense, but that is the key to all this. It's knowing those notes inside and out to where you can see, oh, A7, yeah, then my D major third, I'm hearing that right there. Pull me to that next chord. And right here, if here's a great exercise that you can do, and we'll do it in E, so we have enough fretboard. So we'll get in E up the major, big E bar chord up here on the 12th fret. And this is a great exercise. I'm just going to take E, and I'm going to go E to E7, because the point is to really be able to see the 7s and the 3rds moving around in each one of those chord positions, the cage system type thing. So I'm going to go E. I'm going to work out, we're just going to do 3 strings. We're going to do B, G, and D string. And I'm just going to go, and I'm going to drop the 1 down a whole step to make my 7. Then I'm going to go to my D-shaped A chord right there, and it's all connected. So here's E. A. Now I'm going to go A7, and I'm dropping the 1 down a whole step. So you really get to see how the flat 7s and the 3rds move around in each different chord interval and different shapes. So bear with me here and check this out. So what I'm doing there is the 1 is moving down to the 7, and then the major third is right behind that, and then when I'm in A, I'm going to go to A7, and then that resolves to that chord, this chord shape, your A-shaped E, then right here, that shape, 7. So now that's going to move to that shape, your A, A7, E, E7, A, A7. So what you got is you've got, and then so you can really hear that, you know, this. Took me a second to figure that out, but that's how you're hearing. You're hearing the 1 to the flat 7 pulling you to the 4 chord, or the 5 to the flat 7, 5 dominant 7 chord, pulling you back to the 1 chord. And once you can see those shapes moving like that, it'll directly impact your lead playing to where when I'm playing out of A, you know, let's go A to D to E back to A. So not perfect, but that is a little example of, you can hear the chords changing by outlining those major thirds and flat 7s. It's just a really good way to start looking at it. I hope that helps. Give me some feedback, friends, and look forward to the next video. Stay in tune and in touch and all that great stuff. Thanks so much, friends. We'll talk to you soon. All right, bye.